Well, they went out there. They were this cold air really makes these horses feel really puts them on their toes, and they were happy to get out there. They just marched up to the racetrack. They were eager to get to work, which is a good sign. And you know, you don't want to see them leading up there like a borrowed dog. So they were really up there. They were in a hurry to get up there, and they really moved really well over the track. The track's really soft, a little deep, but as Dortmund came by first, he was really moving well. You can see he's comfortable. And then American Pharoah, as always, he just looks like he just moves, he just floats over the track, and so he looked very eager. So both horses, I was really happy with the way they went over it. They were just really looked healthy and bright and top condition. They just, you know, there's no regressing there. So they're looks like they're coming up to another big race. So I felt really good about it today.
Now that you've had a little time to think about the post, you guys thoughts again?
I haven't really thought about the post too much, because it's one of those things where I probably think about it the day of, whatever, so we'll just let them. Right now, we just focus on getting them there in great shape and make sure that we have them prepared the way we want them prepared. So the post position thing, that's, you know, when you see the jockeys, we'll sit down and they're probably preparing, they're figuring it out themselves. What, you know, there's not really, I think the break is probably, once you break, you have to have a plan. I'm sure they'll have plan A, plan B, and hopefully don't have to use plan C. So it's, they know their horses really well. They know what their horses like, what they don't like, or whatever. So they're the professionals in that. So I probably won't get too involved in that situation.
Has Dortmund almost become an overlooked character in this thing? I mean, are people kind of underappreciating his talent?
I mean, Dortmund, he was, you know, he came in undefeated, and he still ran a very gallant race to run third. And I really thought when they turned down the backside, I thought he would win it, the way he was just cruising along like he did in California. And he got a little tired, but since then he's come back and he's really trained well. So I expect another big effort out of him. So I watched you know, other horses that were training. All the horses that ran the Derby that are here, they look like they're trained really well. So it should be a very competitive race.
Would you be at all surprised if he beat Pharoah?
You never know. I mean, to me, I just get them up there and send them up there, and they're, you know, as long as you know, I'm hoping for one too. So.
Wayne said this morning he thought you won without having your A game. Do you think he can move forward off the Derby win?
Well, I think it's hard to really gauge the Derby. A lot of horses were struggling that day. I don't really think Dortmund brought his A game. Pharoah probably didn't bring his super A game, but they looked really good. It looked like they, you know, came out of the race really well. And you know, American Pharoah hadn't had a hard race, so that was a good stiff, hard race for him, and he looked like he handled it pretty well. So, you know, he's a very exciting horse to watch, and the way he moves over the track, he just floats over the track. So, but at this point, I'm like, you know, we didn't like the draw. You know, I just hate to see them next to each other like that. But it's something that I can't change it or anything like that. So we just deal with it, and but I'm not gonna. I didn't lose any sleep over it.
Coming off the hardest race in his career.
What?
Coming off the hardest race in his career, apparently, American Pharoah, came back in 2 weeks. Is that a concern? I know you said he's floating over the back, but you know, the Derby was a tough race on him.
Well, he, you know, coming back, but he's got a really good foundation under him. You know, he ran as a 2-year-old, and he's had, you know, he's shipped, ran, you know, Oaklawn Park. He ran over some deep racetracks, and so, but he's a very sound and healthy horse, and that's most important. He just moves over the ground really well, and so they both are. They're just, and that's the whole key. You want a horse that's, you know, you need a good horse and to win this race, and you want a really healthy horse. So that's most important.
There wasn't much early pace in the Derby. Now, with the way the posts shake out and with new horses like the Divining Rod, you see a different kind of pace set up for this race?
Well, I mean, the Derby, there was pace in the Derby. There was some good horses out there. I mean, Dortmund was going, he was clicking, he was going pretty fast. He was just, but the track was deep. It was slow. It wasn't really a fast track. So, I mean, I've seen Churchill Downs when they have it really rolled and fast. You know, would have been, pace would have been 46 or whatever. It can be fast, but I don't, you know, the pace, nobody can gauge the pace until you don't know what jockeys are thinking about. You know, every jockey goes in there with a plan. When the gate comes open, they might change it or whatever. So I really don't, you know, you sort of get an idea of what somebody might do or whatever, or like what can you do. So, but they have to break well first.
Your experiences coming here, you said that this is the easier of the three. Why do you say that?
Well, I've always said this is the easier of the three because your horse just ran a big race, hard race, won a quarter, 2 weeks. There's nothing really you could do in between to just get him to run the same race back, or if he did get tired, he'll get something out of it, or so it's. And it's fun. It's fun to come here, and we're all in the same barn. We get to hang out with each other, get to see all you guys, and you know, it's not spread out. We have a little festive. You know, we go up there. The alibi breakfast. It's a lot of fun. Listen to everybody, and so you know, that's part of the charm of the classics, to really enjoy the moment. And these are memories that we'll always take. You know, have with us forever. So. And now got my family in town, Jill and Bodie, and my kids couldn't make it. They're going to a wedding in Ohio, so they were bummed out. They love the Derby, so so we're traveling a little light, you know. So.
Did you talk to Lucas after the sale?
Oh yeah, I talked to him. I talk to him every day. Yeah, he was pretty excited. So he's, you know, to be in the race, and he's, you know, he's a legend. He's an icon of the sport. So he's, you know, I'm glad he's in there and he's really enjoying it. And he brings a lot to the sport. I mean, alibi breakfast, he should be really entertaining. So I've become very boring. So we need somebody to pick up the slack.
How critical is the break in this race?
It's like anything. It's like Indy 500. The break is important. You know, you can't spin out or whatever. So that's why I really don't fret the race because it's my job is get the saddle on them, make sure they're, you know, they don't get stirred up. We still have to school them today. We're gonna see how they react and just fine tune them. We don't have, you know, a couple days, so we don't, you know, we don't really basically just keep them in bubble wrap, you know, and just get them out there and then give them a spin. But it's been really smooth. This, you know, the week for the Derby was smooth. This week it's been smooth. So, you know, sometimes you have a little hiccup or something. So it's been really smooth for me.